It is my great pleasure as Executive Director of Admissions and member of the Senior Leadership Team to welcome you to Shawnigan's second podcast on the theme of the Shawnigan Journey. The Shawnigan Journey is the unique and compelling educational philosophy of our school. The journey is not simply a set of experiences, but a curated journey of nurture and discovery, with choice in tandem with the opportunity to lead and inspire. The theme of this second podcast is centred on the why. We have invited Dr. Alexei du Bois and our head of school, Larry Lamont, and two grade 12 students to discuss the philosophy and why which underpinned the Shawnigan Journey.
So I've invited Dr. du Bois, Dr. Alexei du Bois, Heimbecker Inspiration Chair, to join us for the second podcast on the Shawnigan Journey, the why of the Shawnigan Journey. And I've also thought it'd be very interesting to have two student perspectives, two grade 12s, two prefects, JD and Sophia, and would love your insights about the Shawnigan Journey in this conversation. And I'm going to sort of lead off by saying, asking Sophia, tell us a little bit about your background and your unique Shawnigan journey.
Yeah, so I started here at Shawnigan in grade 10. I'm from Calgary, Alberta, so not too far away from here. And my Shawnigan journey, I feel like, is pretty unique. I'm in Strathcona House, which is an amazing boarding house. I feel like I have lots of good sisters in the house, which makes a big difference. And I'm a competitive rower and a figure skater. So those are kind of my two aspects of the school that I really love and enjoy.
Can I ask you a question, Sophia? So, I mean, you've had a pretty varied experience here. I can see from all the many badges on your lapel there, you've done a whole bunch. What helped you make those choices? How did you decide how you were going to spend your time here?
I used to be a competitive figure skater at home when I still wanted to continue that here at Shawnigan. So that was one of the choices I made. And then I'd never tried rowing before at all before I came to the school. And I saw the lake and I thought it was such a beautiful and incredible space. So I just wanted to try something new. And then I love rowing now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And tell us a little bit about Nala Ayed, because you've become a bit of a pro in interviews and interviewing people. I'm feeling a little intimidated.
No,
table with you, but tell us a little bit about that.
I interviewed an author, Nala Ayed. She's a CBC journalist.
I'm still correspondent.
Yes, and war correspondent. She did tons of work and we're in many wars just reporting for Canadians. And I had the pleasure of interviewing her, which was an amazing experience and something I would never have done if she didn't ask me to do. So I read the book twice to make sure I was like on point and had my knowledge, but it was amazing.
And an amazing tale of two Shawnigan grandparents. You were quite blown away, weren't you, by it, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. And what was particularly impressive, I think, for the audience is probably any one of the English teachers, Mr. Lamont himself, would have happily interviewed Nala Ayed. Like, what an opportunity. But actually seeing you do it, and as professionally as you did, was inspiring. I mean, basically, I think you always got a standing ovation. So yeah,
it was an amazing experience and I'll never forget it. And I would not have had that experience or thought of it if I wasn't at Shawnigan. And I thought that was a real learning and growth opportunity for me.
Sick. I think she's already expecting you to be a fellow.
Essentially.
I think so. I think she may have a job for me this summer. So
amazing. Wow.
And JD, tell us a little bit about your background and unique Shawnigan journey.
So I come from the States. I come from Montana. It's kind of the American version of Calgary. Not many people come from Montana. Kind of empty space. I came in grade 8, so I've been here the whole 5 years. And it's hard to remember a time before Shawnigan. I spent a couple years really trying to just live life and experience it and get the world perspective. And when I came to Shawnigan, that was just a continuation of it. That just felt natural. Coming in grade 8, continuing languages and getting to see an entirely new side of the world. Some of my best friends now help me with my Mandarin, so that I've gotten to study here. I get to continue my Spanish as well, which I really love to do. And I absolutely want to continue that in university. I came in as a pretty competitive hockey player. I'd taken a little break before, and then as soon as I got here, I transitioned to rowing. And that might have been one of the best choices I've ever made. That's kind of my life now.
And you're a runner as well.
When I get out there, I go. I've gotten to compete at a couple of the provincial competitions now for cross country. Just to prove we rowers really do push the athletic threshold.
And what about robotics as well?
Oh, yeah. So when I came in, I'd been a child of Legos. I grew up from that side of the world. I'm sure many of my friends did as well. I was inspired a lot by my brother actually to do that, as he came before me, and he was a big robotics guy. Grade 9, I sort of went over there and asked him like, oh hey, can I join in? And it was amazing. He got to go to Worlds, which is something like I never dreamed of, competing with students from anywhere. Really, it just this like, there's a next level to like the nerd brain. And that is not like a derogatory term in my mind at all. Like being a nerd, that's just like something so inspiring.
I also think it's accepted at Shawnigan. I have to be anybody you want.
And you can nerd in whatever you want to do. It's really cool. And so I did robotics for 3 years, and I got to push the competitions there. We won a tournament with my team. That was a beautiful part of it. My team members, I got really close with a few of them. And then this year, I decided actually I want to do the school musical.
Well,
Yeah.
So that was a big shift this year. Setting aside robotics, I'll definitely go back in February after the musical.
yeah. And do you have a lead role in the musical? Are you the dance lead? Are you?
I do a bit of everything. I'm kind of the ensemble. This year's musical is pretty big on just having everyone get to do something special. But I get to do what I want to do, which is sing and dance. And I hadn't done that much before.
And neither of you realized you were going to become English scholars.
No.
Yeah. Can you give a little context to that?
So that one goes to Mr. Lamont's class.
So AP Literature.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did Shakespeare, we did The Tempest with you for 3 months.
Yeah. It was very entertaining.
That was a sucker class.
I remember when we acted it out on the docks with the umbrella and the crown. That was a really good time.
Yeah.
Well, the opening storm sequence. Well, my dream is one day, whatever you're studying at university, you choose to do some literature model.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to ask you both, actually. Part of your journey, you've had these varied experiences, you've had opportunities maybe that wouldn't have come across your path if you had chosen a different school. What has the boarding been like? How has that challenged you? How has that informed your decision-making? I don't mind who answers first.
You want to go first?
Oh, sure. I came in and I was like, all right, I get to live in a house with 55 other guys. Let's see what this is like. And I've gone through all of the stages of it with my roommates. Roommates I like, roommates I didn't like so much. Of course, now I'm best friends with all of them, even if it was hard to look at each other in grade 9.
Sure.
No, it's like a big brother group. I grew up with my brother, and I just replaced him kind of with not replaced him. No, he's still a part of my life, absolutely.
Don't worry, we'll send him the podcast.
You know what? Maybe he'll watch this, maybe he won't. I'll make sure he knows. But I got 55 big brothers.
Amazing.
When I was in grade 9, they were like the biggest aspirations was the grade 12s.
Mm-hmm.
What they were doing, what they got out of their lives. It was like, okay, I want to do that. I think it's honor. Guys are so cool, and I'm realizing now, oh no, I'm a grade 12. I listen to the guys.
Yeah.
For the younger ones, and I actually loved it. Last year I did the mentorship as a grade 11 for the grade 8 boys, and that was really special. I enjoyed that so much because it was just like.
Well, I think that's where all of our community comes from, where a lot of it comes from our boarding aspect as a school. And especially for me, I agree with JD, like, just how much of the world you even get to see within your boarding house is amazing. Like, this is a small example, but my laundry day, like, I share with 2 people from across the world. And it's just been such a fun experience and a little bond.
And where are they from?
They're from Japan.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it's just like an amazing thing that I would never have like ever gotten to do. And we've been buddies for 2 years now. So it's just like,
That's cool.
Part of the design of the Shawnigan Journey is to have belonging at the center of it. I used to have a really inspiring chair of the board, and she would often talk about the unique remarkable of students coming through and into Shawnigan, through the gates and into Shawnigan. And I think it's just so important in our community that we're welcoming, supportive, and that students feel they can belong here. Whatever their their profile, their identity, whatever their unique, remarkable, and we were discussing earlier, and I'll probably get Dr. du Bois to explain it, but both of us have Southern African backgrounds, and just to tell the story, Alexei, of the terminology.
Yeah, so in Zulu, a greeting that you traditionally give people is sawubona, which you could translate as just hello, but actually it really means I see you. And I see you physically, I see the contributions you make to my life, I see the potential for what we're going to do together. And I think that really is the spirit of things at Shawnigan. Like, I look at both of you and I'm so inspired, like so impressed by everything you've achieved in actually so little time. And the challenges you've chosen to, like, sawubona, I see you, I see what you've done, and I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, I really feel it when we're at the gathering, or whatever we have colours or awards, and that's not just your boarding house, but the whole school joins in that recognition of other students when we give a shout out, or someone has done something spectacular. Or one of those, what I call the unremembered acts of kindness, someone who's contributed to the service club, but just, it's cool to achieve. And I think the student body just inherently understand that and are supportive of students achieving and succeeding and contributing. My question is to you is how do you feel about that sort of sense of belonging? And can you think of examples of the way we intentionally create a sense of belonging? Mine was trapped there, but I'd be interested.
I would say mine is the sense of belonging really came. It goes almost always back to the boarding house. It was when I was in grade 10 and it was my first couple of days. The 12s would let me sit in their room and just talk to them. We probably talked for like hours, and I really looked up to them. And now I can let the juniors do the same thing. Like, yes, they're supposed to be in their room, but also making that connection with them is much more worth it than like an extra 30 minutes of sleep. And just for me as well, holding the doors open for people is a big one. Like, when someone holds the door open for me, the conversation starts happening, and maybe you went to talk to that person in the regular day. I think that's
Did
the chapel one is just such a special thing about this school. Like, whenever I get to choose my prefect duty days, I always do chapel. I just love to watch that. And I think the belonging really comes from just the structure of living here. Yeah, like this is my home. Like, when I see that Phoenix, when I walk through the doors of Lonsdale, it's like that's my home.
Yeah.
Right. I know I belong with my brothers and my dorm parents there, and then like the whole school. Like, when I come in, there's nothing that throws you off about this school. It's like it feels very comfortable. The beautiful architecture, the setup of the lunches, like the family style,
and dinners too. Dinners, talk with your friends.
Yeah.
So it's something I've worked at quite a few schools in my career, but sometimes when I'm back in the UK and people ask me about Shawnigan, I say one of the sort of distinctive parts of it is the partnership between students and staff. I think you understand that we work 24/7 in term time. We're all committed to a boarding school, but I think it's a very special partnership, and you feel that at the gathering, you feel that at lunchtime, you feel it in the corridors. Is that a misconception by me, or what do you think about the adults in your life, the sort of trusted support structures?
I think they really make the difference. So for Heidi Brewer, she's one of my favorite staff members on campus. Just the sweetest. She's a lab technician, but also works in the health center. And her husband drives for Shawnigan, so they're very into it. And she sent me this email before Christmas last year, actually. And it's still, like, I still remember it being like, have such an amazing Christmas and holidays, and let me know when you get back, because I'd love to chat. And just her saying that really made me feel like I belong at Shawnigan. And there's someone who has my back and is rooting for me here.
And that just makes me think, sorry, probably is about the why of the Shawnigan Journey.
Yeah.
Why use this phrase at all? And one piece of that is so that we can articulate for everyone, the staff, students, parents, that all of these experiences, all of the people, all of the buildings, it's all carefully thought about. We want you to feel that sense of belonging. And that really sits at the center of the Shawnigan Journey. that you belong, whether you're in grade 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, and every experience that you have, every person that you interact with believes in that and has designed their program around that. So I think that's amazing that you had that experience. JD, I don't know, did you have a particular star experience that stood out?
I can't pinpoint it because there's too many. Like real, like that's not an understatement at all. Just like even any of my sorry about that one. Any of my teachers really, like I know I can trust them to like talk about, okay, hey, maybe I didn't perform well on a test. Like they are such a great resource, and I'm so comfortable with all of them. Like just learning through tutorials as well. Like I'll pop down. Shout out Miss Robertson.
Yeah.
She had philosophy class last year. I think I will remember that class for the rest of my life. She, did a very good job keeping me updated on American politics and stuff. I feel a little isolated up here in Canada. I enjoy it, and I get to get away. But she keep like, oh hey, did you hear what happened with the election or whatever? She was my source of all that, and we could just sit down and talk for a couple hours about what's going on in the world, and just to share different perspective. And I really enjoy just her critical way of thinking, and
Amazing.
So non-judgmental.
Yeah, I do notice, I mean, not being judgmental, that you didn't mention The Tempest or Mr. Lamont.
That was noted and is going in your reference. Even recalling it immediately. So, Dr. Du Bois, what is the educational philosophy and the research that underpins the why of the Shawnigan Journey?
It's a great question, and I've thought about it a lot. And really, it's about saying that at the heart of what we do is interdisciplinary learning. It's the curated program that supports belonging and challenge for every young person here. And it's the people that work here that surround this place and that support every young person's journey on campus, whether they start in grade 8, 9, 10, or 11. And so that's at the heart of what we do, is these three things: people, places, and programs. And the educational research that tells us that to prepare young people for a complex, unpredictable world, we need to expose them to challenging interdisciplinary learning, to the incredible range of experiences that the two of you just in this short time have talked about, and also to a sense of belonging, because that's what helps you kind of activate your potential, to feel empowered to, take a risk, stand up at the what do they call it, the Student House of Commons, and make your point, or global goals. It's that real kind of the risk to start rowing for the first time, which for both of you has been transformative. So I think that's it. It's those things.
And I think it's the people, you mentioned the people, but it's also the people outside of the classroom. You see your teachers at dinner and you wave and you smile and you even just sit down and talk to them. And sometimes it's not about schoolwork, and sometimes it's just about your day. But that's what really sticks out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what we're developing here is a common language, a common vision for the stage-by-stage development of a Shawnigan student that also makes us unique, is a differentiator for us as a full boarding school with this program.
And, in some ways, people might think this place is so traditional. It's stuck in the past. It's a boarding school, over 100 years of history. They might think that, but actually, this is ambitious. This is future focused, and it's challenging your teachers, Mr. Lamont, and you to come up with new ideas to prepare yourselves for the future, and for us to prepare you.
We'd love to hear about your university plans, and how you feel that Shawnigan has prepared you as part of that Shawnigan Journey. Your Shawnigan Journey is ongoing. As you graduate from here, you go beyond our gates, but you're heading to university and careers. I'd love your thoughts about, I'd love to hear where you're going, but also how best this place has prepared you and what we should be working at.
I think you got the you got the Northeast.
Well, I'm committed to row for Northeastern next year. I kind of started the process in grade 11 for rowing, so I've known for a while, but it's an amazing opportunity, and to row on the Charles River is something I like. That is rowing, so I'm really excited to do that.
So we'll see you at, what is it, Head of the Charles?
Yeah.
Next fall. Okay.
yeah, and then I think Shawnigan has prepared me by just being here and living the day-to-day life. Like, you are so self-reliant, but also supported in that self-reliance. Like, I walk to dinner with my friends. I know what I need to eat to feel good. I know what I like to do, or like, it's just supported me in so many ways by letting me grow into the person I want to be and continue growing in that. And I think that's super valuable going into university, knowing like what your values are as a person and how you can help other people by doing that too when you go next year.
And what courses are you?
I'm going into business undeclared. So their co-op program at Northeastern is amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to take advantage of that.
And you can travel with the co-op program. You can, I think I know one Northeastern student who's currently in the co-op in London. There's probably one in Rome as well. So that's pretty cool.
And to think I only started rowing in grade 10 and now I'm going to university to play D1 sports.
Incredible.
Is insane. And I thank the staff a lot for that, and my teammates. One of my best friends, Eva Morton, is now at UVA to row, and I miss her a lot, but I know she's doing.
She was one of your partners at Henley, England last summer.
Yes, and going to that, like going to Henley, England, and doing Henley Royal Regatta, I could not, like, if I wasn't at Shawnigan, that would not have been. And that made me, like, going on a trip like that. Northeastern also does Henley Royal Regatta, so it just, like, it paired me even.
You got to go around Oxford University. I think
Yeah.
you might head in that direction.
I'm thinking about it.
Very squared.
Yeah,
That's great.
thinking about it.
Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah, there we are. JD?
I'm still in my decision process and application process for universities. I'm looking anywhere from McGill over in Montreal to Northeastern, Boston, and I currently have an offer to row for San Diego, which is, that is such a beautiful place. A little bit of the other side of the world from the rainy that we get here with the constant weather there. But I think what's really like helped me like to go into the future is knowing the people that I'm with, and like really knowing like what people I strive the best with and like get along with, and finding them at Shawnigan. Hey, these are my people, this is my place. And I'm able to see that in different parts of the world. Like in my decision process with universities, I'm really passionate about like knowing that my peers are going to be pushing themselves to extend somewhere with the worldview that I get here at Shawnigan.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, it just made me think that exactly what we're trying to do here is to help you get a sense of who you are. And you've literally said, like, it was the people who surrounded me, and they're drawn from all over the world. This completely unique mix, this completely unique set of experiences combined with that. And you're using that to make a decision about your life. I mean, what else could you want?
Yeah. Well, Alexei, you worked with quite a few grade 12 students, grade 11 into grade 12. And I know some of your students have been getting their early decisions.
Yeah.
A lot have been very successful with their applications to UK universities. But what does Shawnigan need to do in the future to prepare our students best for university and careers across the world?
Yeah, I think we should continue with what we're doing around addressing the kind of complex challenges around climate change, around inequality, and seeing how we can continue to build our programs to be interdisciplinary, to help students to tell their stories using the latest technologies, to work together across departments and across grades, because ultimately that's what the young people in our care are going to go on to do. They're going to face these huge, really difficult issues, and they're going to need the most contemporary set of tools, but also that basic philosophy and commitment to belonging that's so fundamental to what happens here. And so, keep doing what we're doing, keep feeling ambitious about what we want to do in our classrooms and beyond, and keep curating and designing those spaces to make that happen.
Well, the Shawnigan Journey, we're just writing a strategic plan of the school. So we've had Project Future that we had coming out of the pandemic. This is Project Future 2.0, the Shawnigan Journey. So it's the sort of crux of the next stage at Shawnigan, so as we imagine it in 2030, 2035, even what it looks like in 2050. I know it's a little hard, challenging to think about that. But if you can encapsulate, and we'll wrap up with this, one word to describe your Shawnigan journey so far, what would it be? And probably you're saying, Alexei, you've been here for a year as an inspiration chair, heading back to KwaZulu-Natal and Hilton College. You know, what's the word that strikes at the heart of the Shawnigan experience?
You want to go first?
I'll be.
Okay.
Think about this.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. I mean, I think for me, it's really about the kind of, I don't want to keep repeating myself and say ambition, but it's the horizon setting that exists here. So it's like creating that future possibility for all of you that maybe you didn't think of before because of that conversation you had with your Japanese laundry buddies, because of the people you've been surrounded with at the Lego robotics competition in Texas. It's that kind of boundless possibility, that horizon that exists that you have a better sense of. So that's not one word. Horizon. It's just, horizon.
I'd go so quickly along with yours. Imagine.
Yeah.
You can, if you imagine something is Shawnigan, you can find a staff member or somebody who's else is interested in it. Like for me, an example that I'm working on right now, I imagined better pants for the girls' uniform. So we're ordering samples to try new things. And if you can imagine it, you can probably find someone else who does too and make something work.
I think mine falls somewhere in the lines of like inspiration, aspiration,
Dream.
Yeah. I was so proud that we got to pick that as our worship this year. Dream, because that's really what I'm working on in my life right now. Is trying to inspire the grade 8s, to come to rowing, to find their passions, but also for myself. Like every teacher I see, every coach I've gotten to meet at like, the national competitions for rowing, like they've inspired me to, bring some new form, to dream, to bring some new form of, learning to Shawnigan. So like, hey, we should be pushing this side of what we're doing here. And, the Shawnigan community is so good at responding and, feeling like, okay, hey, my dreams are realized. Like I can comfortably say like, I get to develop them.
And I think it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. If you have a dream, something.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just waiting for you both to quote Caliban and the 10. And when I waked, I cried to dream again. Anyway, there we are. We've got horizon, we've got imagine, we've got dream, and probably I would throw in thrive. We've just been talking about the journey for all alumni. That we dream for them as well. We dream for you, and that you're going to thrive in the world you're going out to, which is going to be constantly changing in front of you, and that you've got the skills and the resilience really to thrive as well. And actually, we've been talking about, of course, every staff members on their Shawnigan journey too. They're here often for longer than 5 years of the student experience, and just how they evolve as educators in this extraordinary place that Shawnigan.
Yeah.
So I think that's a wrap. It's been great fun.
Thank you so much for that.
And
keep on being inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, you guys, and thanks, Dr. Du Bois.
Yep.
I loved listening to the students' insights into the Shawnigan journey. They are absolute gems. Listening to everyone, it strikes me that there are 4 key things that underpin the why of the Shawnigan journey, based on experience and research for our prospective students and their families. Firstly, belonging is at the heart of the boarding experience. Feeling valued and seen for your own uniqueness, and is an accelerant for students to fulfill their potential. Secondly, the Shawnigan journey provides educational philosophy and direction and a common language, and is a program unique to Shawnigan and is our key differentiator. Thirdly, it is interdisciplinary and aspirational in design, with the right level of challenge for each of our students. And last but not least, the Shawnigan journey, whether it be from grade 8 or later, extends way beyond campus to life as alumni, while also providing a springboard for success. Just ask both of my sons.